Okay, we're going to dive into some email marketing. Now, why we do this is email is by far and away one of the most powerful ways to follow up with our leads or our customers. So whether you're attracting someone on the internet through your lead magnet, like we just went through, or you've had past patients and you want to follow up with them, and let's say you want to do it in a way that doesn't take up so much of your time, we're going to show you how to do simple automations. And I've even built out templates for you that are in the links below. And if you're watching this video through Mailchimp, I'm going to show you how to copy and paste these templates into an automation that will work for you while you're not working. As in, it will send people automatic emails in a sequence that you do not have to manually go in and do every single time. So I want to walk you through, if you have Mailchimp or you do not have an email service at this point, I highly recommend signing up for Mailchimp. It's completely free up until I think you have 500 contacts, maybe 1,000, maybe 200 on your email list. I can't remember. But if you're just starting out, if you're a brand new clinic, Mailchimp is a great way. Alex and I are huge believers in being as lean as possible and doing things for as cheap as possible in the beginning without sacrificing quality, of course. But I want to walk you through Mailchimp and how we're going to do this. So the very first thing is you want to just Google and go to Mailchimp.com. So if you Google Mailchimp.com, and then you're going to click sign up for free if you don't have an account. And what Mailchimp does is you just have to put in your email that you want, your email, your username, and your password. Now, if you have a domain at something.com, so like at willphysicaltherapy.com, tends to work really well in terms of your emails not going to spam folders or promotion tab in Gmail. However, if you have a Gmail account, don't worry, it's totally fine. Your emails will still get to people. So use whichever email is that you use the most, is what I would say to start out with. So I have a Mailchimp account. I'm going to walk you through one of my Mailchimp accounts. We'll just do the nobodies. Okay. So the very first thing that we need to do is whatever your lead magnet was based around. So maybe it was around back pain, maybe it was around knee pain, maybe it was around shoulder pain, maybe it was around, if you're non-physical therapy or occupational therapy, maybe it was around if you're doing marketing for a business, maybe it was, marketing leads, people interested in marketing. We're going to create a new list. So what we're going to do up here is we're going to go to lists. We're going to click lists. You can see I have a few different ones here. And so what we're going to do is we're actually going to go to this gray box over here. We're going to click create list. And then what we're going to do is this little create list link right here. Just click create list. And we're going to title our list. So in this case, I'm going to say it's back pain checklist leads. We'll call them leads, people who are interested. You don't have to say that, but that's what I would say. And so I'm going to send this, the email people will reply to. So this is my, since it's from the nobodies, I'm going to use my most appropriate email for them from the Nobodies podcast. This could be Will PT Clinic, be whatever. We'll do Will PT Clinic. So what we have to do is we have to remind people how they signed up for a list. So what I want to do is say, you are receiving this email because you opted in for the back pain checklist from Will PT Physical Therapy. And then you'll have to put in your mailing address. It's just necessary in the end in case someone ever had to reach out to you. I do not choose any of these double opt-ins. I don't choose the GDPR fields. If you want to get notified by people who are subscribing and unsubscribing every day, Mailchimp will send you a notification. I personally don't check email enough to make it worth my while, but if you do, you can definitely click daily summary. You can click one by one, so you get an email as soon as someone opts in for something. In this case, I'm just going to click I would probably do one by one. I'm going to do one by one, to be honest, because I think at this point you'll be able to get an immediate email saying, hey, someone opted into your back pain checklist. And we know speed is amazing. And Greg is, and I should say, speed is amazing in that once you're able to, as soon as you get information, the quicker you can follow up with someone, the better chance you have of converting them into a discovery visit or a new patient. So now we're just going to click save. And we have a new list. So you can see it says view contacts, and we know we have no new contacts, which is totally fine. So we have our new list, and that's the first thing that we need to do. So if you're here, pat on the back, you made your first list in your email service provider. In this case, it's Mailchimp. So the next thing we want to do is we want to go to campaigns. So we want to make an automated email sequence. And what that means is if someone goes to our funnel page and they want to get our checklist, and so let's say they see our Facebook ad for a back pain checklist, they click it, they go to a landing page, and it says, hey, do you want the checklist? And they put in their email, they're automatically gonna get this put into our list, and we're gonna show you how to do that in ClickFunnels. And then they're gonna get this series of automated emails over the course of 3 weeks. So what we wanna do is we want to create campaign. And then it should look like this. If yours looks a little bit different, sometimes Mailchimp changes, but you want to click email. And then what we want to do actually is we want to choose automated email up here. And then what I recommend is going to welcome new subscribers, because they're new subscribers to a list. So then we're going to say back pain checklist automation. You can title it whatever as long as you can remember what it is. So I recommend making it, and I lied. The very first thing we want to do is we're going to go to onboarding series actually. Let's go to onboarding series. So now we're going to change this to back pain checklist automation. And now we're going to go choose that list. So I've got my back pain checklist leads. Click here. I'm going to click begin. Cool. Okay, so this is the automation flowchart in Mailchimp. So this is going to be our guide that tells us when things are going to be dripped out. So if you go into the course, and in the link below, if you see I put a download the back pain checklist for PDF. If you want to find one of the other ones, feel free to find one of the other ones. This process will just be the same over and over again for the different automations that you want to use. If you go and you pull up that Word document, it says Word document for Mailchimp. This is what it's going to look like. It will look something just like this. And so I wrote in here, back pain ebook guide, checklist, opt-in, email drip sequence. So I try to give you instructions. Email 1 to send to people immediately upon opt-in. Here's the subject line. Here is the text for the first email. Second email, 24 hours after they get the first email. There's the subject line, and there's that. I'm going to walk you through exactly how we do this. So what I would recommend is if you pull your Word document tab like this, so you can kind of see both screens, it'll make this a little bit easier for you. Okay. So the very first thing we want to do is, this says trigger immediately after subscribers join your list. So this is essentially the outline of your, not outline, but this is your very first email right here. And so the trigger means that as soon as someone joins this list, as in they opt in on your landing page, so they put in their email, they put in their name, they click submit, they immediately get triggered to Mailchimp to say, hey, they just joined the back pain checklist lead list. And I want this to be immediately after subscribers join the list, so I'm okay with leaving it here. I'm going to show you, let's say I wanted this to be an hour after they opted in. So maybe it's an hour after they're opted in to the checklist, they get an email. I prefer to send one immediately. And I click this little trigger when subscribers are imported. And then what we're going to do is click update trigger. So now I know as soon as they opt into this list, they're going to get this email. So now we have to actually design this email. So I'm going to click design email. This first one, name your email, is just for internal use only. So it doesn't mean no one is going to see this except you. So I say, I'll usually put indoctrination email number 1. And then I'm going to say, welcome to Will PT Physio. Oh, so I lied. I have it for you. I have the subject line here. So all I got to do is copy this, click paste. For preview text, you can write something if you want to. So I might say something like, thank you for opting in for our free guide. Preview text is just something that sits below the email subject line, so it's up to you if you want to add it. I usually recommend that it's something similar to this. So then from Will Boyd PT Clinic, from email address, these look good, totally okay with that. Click next. And now we're going to click a template. So you can build out a template. I'm going to be honest, I don't really like fancy email stuff. I think it distracts people. If you really want to, you can click this and it's a drag and drop builder. To make this as simple as possible, because the less steps, the better, we're going to go all the way down to simple text. I think when people see simple text, they don't view it as spam, but as much as like really nice email stuff kind of looks like spam. So then what I'm going to do in here, this is Mailchimp, and you can add things. So let's say, if I can get out of this, you can add text boxes if you want to. You can, oh, here we go, this little arrow guy. You can add images if you want to. You can add all kinds of stuff. You can add video, links to videos if you want to in your emails. I tend to make it as simple as possible, because if we don't do that, things just get crazy. And the more work, the less likely you're going to want to do this and enjoy to do this. So I'm going to say, here is your back pain checklist. And then what I've done is I've actually given you a template to work off of. So all you have to do is go in here, copy all of this to Hey. And then when you click on this text box, it pulls it up here on the side. You're just going to highlight this and we're going to paste over it. Click paste. And now you have a full email. And so what your job is going to be is you need to go through and change the words to fit you. So it says, hey, I just want to follow up with you and send you your free copy of, okay, I know I need to go in here and change this to Will Boyd's back pain checklist, for example. So it is attached at the bottom of this email. So I'm actually going to change this and I'm going to show you how to do this instead. What you're going to want to do is you can say, I'm going to change this in the text too. You can access your checklist here and click download now. And then what we're going to do, if you do not have Google Drive, I highly recommend getting it. It's free. It's a free tool to use. And what we can do in our Google Drive to put in your checklist, so you can actually put it as a downloadable link in your checklist, is to create a Google Drive account. If you want in Google, just type in Google Drive. And once you're here, all you're going to do is add a new file upload. And I'm just going to choose, let's see, I'm going to choose, we'll just choose something, for example, back pain ebook PDF. Click OK. And there's just one really important step that we have to do once it uploads. And I'm going to walk you through how to do this. So you're going to click it. And it should pop up. So get your back ebook. And then what we want to do is we're going to click the, let me expand my screen. Sorry, Zoom is in my way. These 3 dots up here. We're going to click share. And it's really important that we do this part. What you want to do is get a shareable link. And you can choose edit because people can't edit a PDF. If you're really worried about it, you can do just view. And then what we're going to do is you want to copy link. And if you're not sure if it copied, just highlight it and click copy. And then what we can do is come back to our Mailchimp. We can highlight this and then click this little chain looking link. And all we have to do is paste that link in here, click insert, and now it's linked. So when someone receives this email, they can click that link and it will pop up and show that Google Drive. No one can access your Google Drive. It is a private link, so you're totally safe to use that. So then what I would do is recommend go through here and change the words that fit for you. As you're going through it, here are some key things to keep in mind. Your back spine resilient, blah, 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 blah. So some things that I put in here for you to change are, anytime you see things in brackets, that's for you to change. So I hope you dive into your free copy of, so put the title of it in again, and then put in your name, your business name, and your contact information. So I'm gonna click save and close. And then what I do is I change the header because Mailchimp really likes you to have this footer. So I just do what they tell me. It says to put in the current year, so put in 2018. It says to put in your company, put in Little Boy PT. And then I delete these. I don't think it matters, so I delete them. And then what I do is I do put in, I usually delete my mailing address here so no one can reach me that way. And then I get this. And I leave the option for them to unsubscribe because it's just kind of the classy thing to do. Cool, so this is what it will look like at the bottom. What we're gonna do is click save and continue. And I'm gonna show you why once we do this once, things get really much easier. Okay, so our very first email is done. Our very first email in our automation is done. So that was all of 5-6 minutes to do that, which is awesome. So the next thing we wanna do is we wanna send a follow-up, a second email. And as you can see, Mailchimp has it listed out for 5 or 6, and we can delete these if we want to. We can go in and delete email. We can add more if we want to, add an email. So I wanna walk you through exactly what we're gonna do. So this next one, we're gonna do the same thing. 1 day after subscribers are sent previous email. That's exactly what I want it to be. So I'm gonna leave it at 1 day. Remember, and I gave you the template here of what I would do. So let's go down to email to 1 day after opt-in, 24 hours after opt-in. So that matches up. I'm gonna click design email. I'm gonna put indoctrination email number 2. And then I have a subject line, where were you able to get your free back pain book? Okay, and then just wanted to make sure you got it. This is from Will Boyd, my email address, which all looks good. And then go next. Shrink this down. Now here's how things get a lot quicker because we don't have to do that whole process again of going here, choosing that. What you can do now is go to campaigns. I lied. I should have saved it. So if we save it down the road, for now, we'll have to do this step by step. I'll show you. You can save this. Once you've done this once, you can save it as a template, and then you can just build off of it and you don't have to change things over and over and over again. So let's see. So now, I usually delete this top part. You're welcome to leave it. And you can, if you want to use this, I usually say to just use, say something that's relevant to the email that you're sending. But I usually delete it. And then what I'm gonna do is the same process again, guys. So I know I have this text that I made for you for email to, copy. And we're gonna click paste. Okay. So we'll give it a second. I think it's loading. What is it? Cool. So hey, I just want to see and check in, see if you were able to get your free copy of blank. And then what I did was say, if you miss it, it's attached to the bottom email. So I'm going to change this again. If you missed it, you can download it here. Download now. And again, all you have to do is highlight this, click the link tab, and go back to your Google Drive, get this link, and then what we'll do is I'm going to put this in. Cool. And then remember, anything in brackets, go ahead and change, and feel free to change any of this so it fits your wording and how you would say things. But I gave you a template to work off of. So once you've put those in, so I'd put in Will Boyd physio, and then 555555567 or something, right? Or your email address or your website address too. So you've got that. And then what I should have done last time, I'll show you a trick, is let's do this one more time. So you put in your year. And we're gonna put in Will Boyd PT, and then delete this. And then I delete my mailing address. Just don't think it is necessary. And then I delete this part. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm actually just gonna copy and paste it, or copy this. So that way on my next email, I can just paste it and I don't have to do that every time. I'm gonna click save and continue. So now we have it set up so far where once they opt in, they're gonna get one indoctrination email immediately, just saying, hey, here's your guide. Number 2 is gonna be a day later, which is just checking to see if they got it, to make sure that they got it. It's just another touch point. So now we're on email number 1, 2, 3, and this is another day after. So you can go down and say, okay, 24 hours after the previous email, so we're good. I don't need to change this from one day after. So now I'm just gonna design the email again. And then this is gonna be value-based email number 1. Remember, this one up top, guys, is just for you to remember what it is. So I'm gonna do what you can do. So I have the subject line for you if you want to use this one. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that because now I gotta go to the bottom, but that's okay. It's okay, we'll do this. You can do to help your back pain right now. I wanted to share these stories with you. Something like that. Next step. And then I'm going to go down again to simple text. I know this seems like a lot of work at first, and it is up front, but once it's done, anyone who ever opts into this, you never have to touch this again if you don't want to, which is really, 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 really powerful. So I'm going to walk you through one more of these, and I'm going to click delete. And then again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the text here from this email. I'm going to click copy. And then I'm just going to paste. So then if this is you, I would go in and change this. I put in here, however, here's my favorite things to do. Have people start out doing when they have back pain, insert activity or thing that you like people to do. You can tweak that as much as you want. And then again, put in your name, business name, insert your business contact info, click save and close. And then at the end, I should have done, I guess for this example, we'll have to just do this every time. Or what you can do is copy this and put it in I'll show you a better trick actually. Let's do this. There's a smarter way to do this that I will show you. So one way we can do this is, instead of doing this every time, I can just copy this. And what I'll do is, if you have a sticky tab or a Word document or anywhere where you can just put text, we'll put a new blank document. And I'm going to paste it here so I can come back and get it throughout this. Click save and close. So now we have 3 emails, and I have 7 listed out. So you can see that the next one is going to be 24 hours after the last email. Again, copy the subject line if you want, copy the text. And then the other one's, the next one's 48 hours after. So let's go through that one. So let's just say, I want you to follow this script exactly. So we've got value-based email number 1, and then we're going to have offer-based email number 1. So this will be 1 day after, so 24 hours, which is what we want. We're on email 4 now. I'm going to click design email. I'm going to title this offer email number 1, because in this one we're gonna give people an offer. So copy. I'm gonna go paste. You may not even know you need this. Next step, template. Then I'm going to go back down again to simple text. Okay, so I just delete this first one. It's totally up to you if you want to put text in there. And now we're going to put in our first offer. So this is an offer. Essentially, we're telling them that they have a chance to get a free discovery visit or a free phone consult, or whatever that you offer in your clinic. If you don't have something to offer in terms of a free discovery visit or a free phone consult, it could be a paid evaluation. It could be something. People react to offers though. So if you're not giving them offers or a way to incentivize them to come in, I highly recommend that you begin doing it. It's powerful, and it's how almost every other industry on the planet works. So I think it's really important that we begin doing this. So I put in a, hey, here at our business, I gave you 2 options of how to come in. 1, schedule a free 15-minute phone consult. If you have a link, remember, you can put in the link to your website right here. If you don't, then what I would do is just put in your phone number. The other thing is a free in-person discovery visit. If they don't, again, put in your phone number. Click save and close. Okay. And then what we're going to do is let's go down to email 5, which is 48 hours after the last email. So this is one that we have to change. So this trigger, instead of 1 day after, we want it to be 2 days later. So I'm just going to change this to 2. I'm going to click update trigger. So now it's going to show up 2 days. It's going to send to them 2 days after this last email. We'll design it. And we're going to call this value-based email number 2. I'm going to have the subject line, why adjustments alone won't heal your back pain. If you don't want to use that, if you want to change this one, feel free. Again, this is just a template, guys, to help make this process a lot easier for you. You may not even know this about adjustments. Okay. Click save. So the same process over and over and over again, guys. We're going to click simple text. Click delete. And then what we're going to do is copy the text again. And what we'll do is we're going to put it in here. So go through again, change the wording however you want. And anything in brackets, make sure that you definitely change out. And now at the bottom, what I can do is I can go to my other Word document. I should have done this for my other one. I can go here, and what I can do now is just copy. And I can just highlight all of this. And I can paste over it. Cool. So now I don't have to go and delete all that all the time. So at this point, guys, we're up to 5 emails. So we want to add 2 more. We're going to click add email. It's just going to add in. I'm going to add 1 more so we have 7 total, because that's what the automation I built out has. So for this one, guys, email 6 is going to be 72 hours later. So we'll click 3 days, update trigger. And again, remember, design email, you want to put in the subject line. You want to copy the text and put it into your into the body of the email. The last email, email 7, is 1 week after. So we want to make sure this is the last email, email number 7. And we're going to put 1 week after. This ends up being about 2 weeks of follow-up. And again, what you want to do is design the email, plug this in. These last two I would call, so email 6, I would call value-based email number 3. And then this would be week 7 is offer-based number 7. You're giving them another offer again. Once that's done, you've put that in, you just click next step, confirm. And the problem is I haven't filled these out yet, so I need to do this. Let's see, I need to come up with a subject line. So let's just finish this out. Let's go through here. So email number 6, what I've learned, copy, paste. I'm just gonna skip preview text on these just to give you the example of how to do this. I'm gonna click simple text. Again, I won't go through and change these two because I think you see the process now. You copy and paste those from here, from the Word document. And then number 7, let's go through. I'm just gonna do the same thing. So this would be offer email number 2. And then we put in the, you probably have no idea you have this. And then you could put in preview text if you want to. If you run into any issues, message Alex or I or Kristen, and just shoot us a message, and we can help you with this. Let's see whether it's a simple text. And then remember, copy and paste the text, and then copy and paste your footer stuff, your footer here at the bottom as well. And then click save and continue. And your email automation is almost done. All you have to do is click confirm. All right, I guess I have to change this. Not what I wanted. It won't let me do this without putting in some custom text. So we'll go through. If you feel like you've got it at this point, you can stop watching this. I'm just going to show you the last little bit. We'll go. Save and close. I'm just putting in sample text here so I can show you how this automation, the last step that we do, and you guys will be all set with your first email automation. And then all you have to do is you can copy this. Oops. You'll be able to copy this and just build off of this template. Save and continue, confirm. All right, one more thing. I didn't change the top part. It has some default text, so let me go in. Okay, that should make it good. Okay, so we can do start sending. Okay, so in the funnel video, when we integrate this into our ClickFunnels or our landing pages, anytime someone opts in, they will automatically start getting this automation, which is really, really powerful. It will work for you. What I recommend too in the future is if you're really in the mood and you want to do this, just replicate this And oops, sorry, I lied. The first thing you want to do again, guys, is before you replicate the campaign, you want to go to lists, create new list. So let's say this time you want to create one for a shoulder pain opt-in. We'll call this shoulder pain ebook, for example. And then again, you put in your, put in your email. Will, you're getting this because you opted in for the shoulder pain ebook. And then if you want to get one-by-one notifications, click save. So now we have a new list. And again, no one's going to show up in our list, but then let's go back to campaigns. And what we want to do is we're going to replicate this back pain checklist that we just made automation. We're going to click replicate. And this time we're going to choose shoulder pain ebook. Click next. And now we can go in and we can change things. So we can just work off of the last one that we had before. Right? It's all here, so you just have to change the subject line. And now you've got all of these working for you. So you only have to do this once, and then you can go through and you can just change it for each automation. You don't have to do the process of copying and pasting over and over and over again, except for specific stuff that you would want to put in. So that's how this works, guys. So now if someone goes to your landing page and they put in their name and their email, they will automatically start getting this series of 7 email automations to follow up with it. So if you have any lingering questions, shoot them in the Facebook group or send them to Alex and I'd be happy to help. And I hope that you see the value of this, that how you can be contacting your people over and over again without you doing any work except for doing it up front with, in this case, Mailchimp.